Hi, I'm Greg Crawford with the Friday News Dump, brought to you by World News Trust. Now, there's been quite a bit of talk about pirates lately, what with the new Tom Hanks movie and the typically ham-fisted response to some Greenpeace protesters by the Russian military. The Greenpeace activists have been charged with piracy in a Russian court, even though it was the Russians that boarded the Greenpeace ship in international waters and commandeered it at gunpoint, which kind of makes the Russians the real pirates. But as we all know only too well, laws are for little people like you and me. Wealthy corporatists and heads of state can do whatever they damn well please, then spew blatantly obvious lies to justify their actions. And there will always be plenty of idiots with room temperature IQs who will defend them. Sadly, however, we here in the land of the free have an unfortunate tendency to elect those dim-witted idiots to high office and give them frightening power to wreak havoc, which, of course, they do with malicious delight. Now, the legal definition of piracy is absurdly narrow, limiting it to boats and high seas and such. But what is occurring in the House of Representatives, even as we speak, is nothing less than piracy and hostage-taking, justified with bald-faced lies. And no one spins a brazen whopper like a Republican. Only this time, not even their legions of brain-dead ditto-heads are buying it. The Tea Party morons that engineered this fiscal fiasco know they've screwed up big time. Hell will have a hockey rink before these clowns ever admit they were wrong. So they just pile on more lies on top of the stinkers they've already thrown out there. Now, the scum of the earth at Fox News are all saying that this is Obama's shutdown because he won't negotiate with the Tea Party pirates. Negotiate for what, you hyenas? For defunding the Affordable Care Act? Okay, let's see now. This is not a bill, as the talking snakeheads on the right constantly refer to it. Legislation is only a bill when it's sponsored by congressmen and/or women. Once it has been voted on, which the House and Senate did 3 years ago, it becomes law. It ain't a perfect law by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, it's a huge giveaway to the insurance industry. But at least it's a step in the right direction, and it is the law of the land. This is how democracy works. But Republicans hate democracy. Oh, sure, they pantomime all the histrionics and go through the motions. They wrap themselves in the flag and spew witless, pseudo-patriotic platitudes. But when the democratic process gets in their way, it's tantrum time. And they try to justify their intransigence in the face of reason the only way they know how. They lie. And oh, how they love to turn logic on its head and blame the victims. That malignant bag of rat excrement Fox News commentator Stuart Varney said that he wants to punish those people. No, he doesn't want to punish those responsible for this insanity. This evil turd wants to exact vengeance on the federal workers who were furloughed through no fault of their own because the teabaggers in the House of Representatives, cheered on by the aforementioned scum of the earth at Fox News, chose to cripple government agencies whose functions benefit those who have fallen on hard times. Again, often through no fault of their own, they were just the victims of malicious and/or incompetent policy decisions that are not always made by Republicans, though that's how the smart money bets. And to top it all off, the right-wingers aren't even sure they'll authorize back pay for those furloughed federal workers. Of course, Congress still gets paid because they're essential. Seriously? By any measure, this has to be the most incompetent and unproductive Congress in American history. At least one member of the House complained that he only gets $172,000 a year, when that crowd of tone-deaf idiots only shows up for work about 120 days on average. Oh, and the gym is still open because House members have to keep up their strength to fight off those hordes of ravenous women and children who are going hungry so the teabaggers can score political points. Psst! Hey, I got a hot tip for you. The more points you score, the more likely you are to lose seats in the midterms. So go for it! Score those points! Rack them right on up! And don't let the door hit you in the ass on your way out in 2014. Pollsters have been having a grand old time dreaming up truly nasty comparisons against which Congress invariably loses by a wide margin. Ow! How bad was it, Greg? Okay, well, cockroaches scored higher than Congress. And rumor has it that at least one poll, get this, survey says dog poop is more popular than the House of Representatives. I kid you not. Now, individual representatives may fare better in such comparisons. After all, no one wants to admit they made mistakes as horrific as Michelle Bachmann or Steve King. But as a group, the House is plumbing new depths of contempt, and the Senate isn't doing too much better. Now, why do they think they can lie with such impunity? Well, there could be no doubt that a frighteningly high percentage of the electorate are card-carrying morons. I mean, just look at who they elected to represent them. Not everyone is a drooling idiot. Many people can see through their deceit, but the real troublemakers in Congress have gerrymandered themselves into districts where they're virtually unassailable. So even the most outrageous things that they say or do have no painful consequences. So they tell lies about the lies they lied about the last time they moved their lips and lied. Those in the Beltway bubble think they can continue to lie, cheat, and steal. So we'll let them wallow in that self-delusion for now. But boy, howdy, are they ever going to be in for a surprise. Oh, more on that subject next week, so be sure to check in with us then. We just might make us a little bit of history.